Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, as you'll see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual, I suppose. Sorry, I don't know where I was going with this. We've got another D&D session today. There's actually been a lot today, mainly because I'm going to be busy on Monday, so it's just like, okay, when can we do this next session? Normally the secondary day would be Saturday, but then like one of the people I know is not here this weekend, so it's like, okay, let's do it on Friday. And I was just like, ooh, you know, it's very tight, I suppose, like with the sessions, 3 sessions 1 week, but that does mean next week will be significantly easier because I'll have like the entire weekend to plan out both the next session, and then I'll have another weekend before I need to plan out 2 more, but it's okay. Starting sessions tend to be easier and difficult, but we see. Hello everyone, right now in Fawnhollow, 6:08 PM on Friday, March 1st, 2024. Like, early sessions are quite a bit easier because, you know, there's not so much to do. There's only so many things you really have as a choice, as an option, you know, and of course the players are going to certainly be much more cautious as they're sort of just trying to figure out the world at the same time, so they're only going to choose to do so many things, of course. Choose to explore certain things, choose to etc, etc, etc. Oh yeah, happy 1st of March everyone. So it's easier and harder, but it's also harder in the sense that this is when like I need to I'm just like not fielding, but like, I mean, I guess fielding can kind of work. I'm just taking basically resources from online to make stuff, you know, for the first time. So there's things like, of course, you need to get started like art for the city, you need to get art for like major places, art for NPCs as well, and that sort of thing. Of course, I'm not getting art for like literally everything, you know. It was actually something I was thinking about while I was preparing the session yesterday. And a bit today this morning as well, to be honest, where I was just like, okay, you know, I need to be reasonable, I need to think ahead. I can't set the expectation that literally everything is going to have a piece of art. Not that my friends would, you know, expect it if they saw it like a few times, of course, but as I say, all my friends are very nice, but very sort of like understanding. Like most of them were just like, I'm not sure you should be doing 2 campaigns basically, and I was like, screw that, I'm gonna do it, in typical sort of me fashion. But it's also like a sort of subconscious thing, you know, like let's start the expectation for both them and myself off right, where I'm just like, okay, you know, what's actually gonna get art, you know, it's gonna be the major, obviously each city should get an art, the major places in each city should get art, every battle should probably have like a battle map, and the NPCs which get art should be the ones which I think are going to be recurring in some form or another. Important in some form. So I haven't like gotten NPC art for every single NPC, nor do I even have a token. I mean, if I think we're not going to be in battle ever, and 2, they're, you know, just that like a shopkeeper or something, like I don't need NPC art for a shopkeeper. Like I can just describe, you know, what this shopkeeper looks like, and then they can imagine it, or I don't know if they really are so choosing, maybe they can go like Google, I suppose, that or something. In the future, I think like if they become like more of a recurring character, then I will get like art for them, like if I see them more often. But you know, that's something which will be reactionary rather than proactive in this sense. And this is probably like, that will probably be when I need to start like delving into like AI, like generating things with AI or something, because it's pretty impossible, as I'm finding out, to find art of the characters I want most of the time. Like I've managed to do it just about for some of these they don't exactly match how I envisioned them in my mind, some of them. Like there's one character, like I found an art which I'm like, it's okay, it looks younger than he actually is, and then I found like another art was like, it's fine, but it's not like quite the same vibe as what I wanted, but it still gets like the point across, it's still a visual aid. And then, you know, as I said, when I get more free time, I suppose, you know, this week has not been a good week for it, this weekend will probably be a good weekend, like, and once, you know, the story beats have been established, I might start drawing personal art, I suppose, of the characters who are much more prominently recurring, I think. And I do have an idea of what characters will be recurring and what characters won't be recurring. And I'm not necessarily sure if that's how it will pan out, to be perfectly honest. Maybe I'll improv a character and then my friends will like latch onto it, be like, this is the most important character ever. And then, okay, they'll be like upgraded to like a more permanent status, I suppose. So at least the way I'm doing it on Foundry VTT is the characters which I think are like really important and have a decent chance to be in battle, I've made as player characters essentially, but with NPCs. And then characters which I think are important NPCs, but either will be in battle like sparingly or like recur here and there, or like if they like in the future I can't see them like playing out much of a storyline, then there'll be like NPC stat blocks And then the other characters will just be like there. They'll just be generic character, I suppose. But yeah, that wasn't what I was going to talk about today. Just like, you know, short interlude, 5 minutes at the beginning of each episode just to talk about whatever. But what I did want to talk about was actually a really cool thing I saw yesterday, which is this concept called like Team 0%. And you might be like, what on earth could this be talking about? It's actually a good thing. It's for a video game. In this case, namely Super Mario Maker 1. If you don't know what Super Mario Maker 1 is, it's basically like a game where it's basically a level creator for all the different types of Mario games, and it was like a community thing where people could make their own levels, and you could like upload it to like Nintendo servers, and then other people could play them. Of course, your level could only be uploaded and published if you yourself managed to beat it, something like that. But the thing is now, Super Mario Maker 1 has come and gone, and Super Mario Maker 2 has come out. I don't know why they released a new version. Maybe it was like an engine upgrade or something. I don't know, but either way, Super Mario Maker 2 is a current ongoing game. Super Mario Maker 1 must be like it can't be a decade old. I'm going to say it's 7 years old. I think it was pre-COVID, right? Super Mario Maker 1. 2015. Oh, well, I actually almost is a decade old. That is so crazy. It's almost a decade old? No way. It doesn't feel that long ago it came out. Really, a decade? I started watching videos of probably like Northern Lion playing it when I was still like in secondary school. Is that right? I guess so, maybe. I don't really know. Or maybe Northern Lion didn't start playing it until a few years later. I don't really know. Anyway, so that's basically what Super Mario Maker 1 is. But Nintendo announced that the servers are being shut down. I think it's like early April this year. And what Team 0% is essentially doing, as I understand it, is they're basically being like, okay, you know, it's been for a while now, but you've not been able to upload any new levels, I suppose, to Nintendo servers. And by the way, you know, you might as well check out their actual like official Twitter, which I think is like Team 0% or something, rather than taking the words directly from me if you want actual factual sources of information. But if you want my way of telling story, then here you are. Yeah, for a while now you've not been able to upload Super Mario Maker 1 levels, as I understand it. So it's basically, there's been a fixed pool of levels on Super Mario 1 servers. And what Team 0% is doing is they're basically trying to get the number of unbeaten levels in Super Mario Maker 1 down to 0%. I don't know how long they've been doing this sort of like quest for, but they're doing pretty well. They've got 347 levels remaining, 39 days remaining. Project completion date March 7th, 2024. That seems crazy. I don't know if they're possibly going to do it. They have 3,000 followers, and the thing is, you know, there's multiple facets here. You might say, hold on, that's only like, what, 10 levels every single day to be beaten? That's not too bad, you know, that seems perfectly doable. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that does seem perfectly doable, 10 levels every single day. You know, one person could probably, if they wanted to, is dedicate an entire day to it. Maybe they could actually do 300 levels in one day. The thing is, of course, they've been doing it presumably for a while now. I don't know, maybe they've been doing it for like 6 months, and I had to guess or something. Or maybe they've had their sights on it for ages, and it's only recently they've started taking like big leaps and that sort of thing. Is the fact that now the levels which are left are all pretty difficult levels. Like all the levels have to be beatable, like conceivably beatable, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be beatable by like a human being. I assume a lot of the levels which have been uploaded have been, maybe they've been like task runs or something, or hacked runs which worked out. I genuinely don't know. That's my assumption. But as I understand it, like when I used to watch, I can't remember his name, but there's someone who used to break down like these Mario Maker levels. I really can't remember his name, but he had some good videos about it. But like, you basically can't anymore upload like a hacked level in Super Mario Maker, like a literally impossible level. Or if they are literally impossible, then they get reported by people or something like that, and it gets taken down. So they have 300, presumably 300 or so levels is small enough that someone has probably gone through and like vetted all of them to at least be like, this looks conceivably possible or something like that. But it's, all the levels are incredibly difficult, presumably. Like I saw like this is obviously on Reddit is where I initially saw this, and I saw some of the example levels they've given, and some of them are crazy. Like one of them is like this absolutely insane brutal precision based, like literally it's like 100 pixel perfect jumps or something in a row to beat it. And it has some of like most insane things I've ever seen. Like there's one absolutely hilarious section where it's just like you had to do this really difficult jump and then you had to go back and do it again. Like you jump over it like back and forth like 8 times or something in general, and I'm just like, why would you put that in a level? That's brutal. But someone did it, so someone actually beat it, which is insane. There's also like there's these things called like puzzle levels in Mario Maker, where, because I don't know, I assume Mario Maker is actually like Turing complete, and I've never actually considered this, but I assume it must be, or something like that, because someone made a calculator in it. So yeah, I guess it kind of has to be. But you can basically do very interesting things with the mechanics of things like load limits in the game, or like spawn orders, or like certain types of like ground which don't despawn items, etc., to make these sort of like puzzle-esque levels. And one of them was absolutely insane. It was basically, it spawned like 32 or something, or 30 power blocks, like completely at random. So like, and power blocks, by the way, it's just an object for this showcase. It spawned 30 identical looking objects. But of course, in the code, they have a secret spawn order, because you can't spawn them all simultaneously. One has to be first, and then the next 29 to follow are in order out from that. But it's completely randomly generated and shuffled. And basically, the entire level is take all of these 30 power blocks and sort them in order. And you had to basically use this mechanic of power blocks, where basically, if I can't remember exactly, but it's like, if you put one which is spawned earlier than another one on top, when it like bumps up and down, when it like shifts up and down on a moving platform, they have no gap between them. And when it's the inverse, when they do have a gap between them. And you basically, what you had to do is you had to divide with like 30 up into like 6 stacks of 5, or I guess 5 stacks of 6 could work as well, now I think about it. And basically sort all of the things, so you can find this is like a type of sort, but I can't remember what the type of sort is. Maybe it's like merge sort or something. Where basically you had to divide it all up in stacks, sort all the stacks, so you can find the earliest spawn one, then take all the earliest spawn from each of the stacks, sort those, and then once you sort each of those, you'll be like, okay, this is the earliest spawn one, and then that's like your merge stack. I'm not explaining this very well. Okay, hold on. You have 30 power blocks divided into 5 stacks of 6. Sort each of the 5 stacks so that the one which spawned earliest is at the top. Take those 5 power blocks with the earliest spawns and put them into a final stack called a merge stack, and sort that one. Then whichever one comes out on top is by definition going to be the earliest spawn. So once you've done that, you just then replace its spot in the merge stack from the stack you initially got that block from. So if that block was the earliest spawn in the first tower, you take the next earliest spawn in the first tower, and then sort it again in the merge stack, rinse and repeat 30 times, or I guess 29 times technically, because the last one you don't really have to do it for. If you know that riddle about like having 25 horses, and like you only can have X many comparison, you can race 5 horses at a time, how do you find like the top 3 fastest horses, or something like that? It's basically that same sort of thing. You divide them into 5 groups of 5, and you race all of them. No, you can't have 5 races. There must be like 6 races to find the top one, 7 for the second, and 1 more for the third, I guess? I don't really know. I haven't thought about that. Yeah, I guess it must be. And that's basically, you get your 25 horses, you divide them into 5 groups of 5, race all of the 5 groups, find the fastest horse in each of them, and race the fastest horse in each of those, and then that orders the groups from 1 to 5, and the fastest of both of them is going to be the fastest horse, and then you, I guess, then I can't quite remember, because I feel like you could do it in fewer matches. Oh no, it's probably, it must be something like you take the 2 fastest horses in group 1, the 2 fastest in group the 3 fastest in group 1, and then group 2 and group 3. The next fastest in group 2 and group 3. Does that make sense? No, that doesn't make sense. Maybe it's you only find 2 fastest horses. I think I'm getting confused of like the additional questions of that sort of thing. But that's basically a general idea. Is you split them up and then you race the winners in each of a group, because you can really make assumptions about it. And it's like crazy, because you have to do that in 8 minutes or something. Obviously you can pause and stuff to like make notes as what the person who beat it did. But it's crazy what they're doing. Like, they've honestly got a really good shot, I think. Like, I'm looking at the Twitter and you see reposts. Incredible precise power level for Team 0% that took 10 hours. First clear was hacked and only 5 more hacked clears left. That's actually interesting. Only 5 more hacked clears left. That means up of 347 levels left. 342 of them are not hacked clears. That is crazy. I don't know if they have a Discord, I suppose, where they're tracking this sort of thing. I'm not really someone who can contribute to this because I've never even played Super Mario Maker. I played like one Mario platformer game, that was New Super Mario Bros. On DS. That's crazy though. 21 hours ago. So yesterday it was 388, today was 347. They are going at a pretty good pace, 41. 41 per day. Even assuming that it goes down to like 30 or something per day. But that probably does seem like it's conceivable they finish before the end of March. I mean, the projected completion date's March 7th, which is crazy. Like, it feels like such an impossible feat, but they're predicting like less than a week. All levels completed, 0%. That's insane. But I guess, you know, as this sort of like momentum of the popularity, I suppose, of this project takes up, then more people who played like Mario Maker in the past, or who are like really good, like probably like Kaizo level players, will just be like, oh, you know, let me get in on this action, you know, let me make this contribution to it. It sounds like fun. And stuff like that. Because right now, I guess, you know, I mean, they still have 3,000 followers, considering that's probably only a fraction of the people who are actually participating in this. They probably have a decent amount of people like trying the levels, or at least interested in what's going on, to be fair. The real question is how many of those people are like good enough to actually beat the remaining levels. Presumably they're pretty hard, like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to contribute. One, I don't have Super Mario Maker 1. 2, I don't think I could contribute. I mean, maybe I'm contributing just by talking about it. Maybe through word of mouth it'll eventually get to the ears of someone who's a very good Mario, Super Mario, I suppose, platform in general player, and then they will like be able to clear a level, and maybe in some sort of domino effect I've done my part to help this project. But I don't think I need that. Honestly, I think they're probably good. I think I'm probably good to go. You know, it's going to be interesting to see what the final level is. It's probably going to be some incredibly difficult one, because then it's going to be like everyone's going to be playing it like at once, and it's going to be like the Tetris sort of like thing where people are like trying to get the first freeze or whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called. Where like everyone's playing it, being like, oh yeah, who's gonna be the one to actually defeat the level? When someone actually defeats it, people just go, wow. That's gonna make for a fun video essay by someone who is much more well versed in the Mario Maker community than I. I can see it now, or I can hear it now. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode up here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, description, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now, and good luck, Team 0%.